So if we look at number 12 here, let's review roses for a minute. Alright. That's your A value, isn't it? The thing in front of cosine. What is the significance of that? What does that tell you, class? That tells you what ring your petals are going out to. So on this one, the petals are going out to ring what? 3. Very good. Now what's the significance of this number right there, that 4? How many petals you have. If it's even, you multiply that number by what? So how many petals will this one have? 8. If it was odd, do you multiply it? No, it is what that number. Okay, so. Alright. So we got 8 petals. Now since it's even, since that number next to theta is even, will I have one equation or 2 equations I have to do here? 2. And I set the cosine for theta equal to what? Positive 1 and equal to, and we learned yesterday why we do that. Okay, so here we go. Cosine of 4 theta equals 1. Okay. Where does it give you a cosine value of 1 at? At what number? 0, isn't it? 0. We don't worry about 2 pi, just 0. So I'm going to put 4 theta equals 0 plus what? 2 pi n. I'm going to divide everything by 4. And I get theta equals 0 plus pi over 2 n. Okay? I plug 0 in for n. That would be 0 plus 0, which is what? 0. Very good. I plug 1 in. Pi over 2 times 1 is? Plus 0 is? Then I plug 2 in. 2 times pi over 2 is? Pi. Pi plus 0 is? Pi. Then I plug 3 in. 3 times pi over 2 is 3 pi over 2. So if you have 8 petals, guys, how many answers do you think you're going to get from each equation? So do I have my 4? Moving to the next one. Alright. Cosine of 4 theta equals negative 1. Where does cosine equal negative 1, guys? Pi. Pi plus 2 pi n. I'm going to divide everything by 4. Get theta equals pi over 4 plus pi over 2 n. I'm going to plug 0 in for n. That just goes away, leaving you what? Pi over what? I plug 1 in. Now I can do this in my head. If not, you would type in 1/2 plus 1/4 in your calculator. Do you understand that? Are you sure? Okay, what does that give you? 3 pi over 4. Very good. I plug 2 in. That gives me pi plus 1/4, which is 5 pi over 4. I plug 3 in. That gives me 7 pi over 4. So there's my other 4 petals. Now remember, in a rose, will you always have one at the origin, at the pole? Yes. So you go here. Yes.
Do we not go to 2 pi?
No. Just go to 0. Okay, now let's go through here. So I want to graph 0 out to the 3rd ring. Ooh. Now I'm going to go to my pi over 4 family members. We know that's in between the pi over 6 and pi over 3. And then here comes your petals. Isn't that just beautiful? Yes. Isn't that just beautiful? I have a project that goes along with this unit, but I think you've got enough project right now. Where you create your own picture using these things. If you don't want it, that's not a good idea for me. I got too much going on right now. But Sam, you really want to do it, don't you? The project goes along with this, don't you? You didn't know what answer to give at the moment, did you?
I did.
I know, that's you played it. You played it safe there. Okay. Do we understand number 11 and 12, guys? If you were asking yesterday, did you take advantage of the video? Did it make sense? Is the volume better on these videos than what we had at the other stuff? Yeah. Remember, here, going out to ring 2, it's odd in front of theta. That means you don't have 3 petals. You only set it equal to 1. Alright. Now, before we go on, remember, roses have a dot at the pole. Circles have a dot at the pole. Lambisons don't have to. But circles, roses, and the lambisons do, okay? Just know those 3 have a point at the pole. Are we good on that? Okay, let's turn to the back of the packet. At the back of the packet, we're just going to identify. Okay? It says identify the polar graph. If a circle, I don't care about the center of the radius right now. We're just going to name them, okay? If it's a circle, put a circle. If it's a lambison, name the type. If it's a rose, state the number of petals. Alright, number 21. Let's identify this. How do we know this is not a lambison? It's not R squared. Okay, that rules out. We know it's not a lambison because there's no plus or. So it's either between a circle or a rose. Which one is it? Because the number in front of theta is 1. Rose, this number would be some other number. Do you understand? So that's circle. Let's describe how we would graph that. Put a dot at the pole. Since it is cosine, will it be on the horizontal axis or the vertical? Horizontal. And would you go right 4 or left 4? And then draw the circle. Is everybody good on that? Number 22. What type is that? Lambison, because there's a minus, isn't it? Now, let's talk about what type of lambison. The A value is, absolute value of A is greater than absolute value of B. So it's a lambison with a what? Dimple. Is the dimple at the origin? No. If it was at the origin, they'd both be the same value, wouldn't it? Number 23, sorry. What type is this, class? A rose, because this number right here, it's a rose. How many petals will that rose have? 20. 20. I wouldn't give you something like that to graph, but it would have 20. Number 24. What type is that, guys? A lambison. You see plus, that's a lambison. Now, the A value, what do you notice? Absolute value of the A is less or greater? Less. So it's a lambison with a what? Inner loop. Number 25. What type is that? Circle. Very good. Number 26. It is a lambison, but what's a more specific name? Cardioid. You would put cardioid there because the A and B have the same absolute value. Where would the dimple be on that one? At the what? Origin, at the pole. Number 27. What type is that? A rose. How many petals? 5. And then number 28, what type is that? Lambison. The A value, absolute value of the A is larger than the B, so is it a dimple or inner loop? Is the dimple at the origin? No. Only the cardioid has the dimple at the origin.
Are we going to have some of this?
Yes. Yes. Alright, so what we're going to do next, I'm going to go through everything that you've got to do. When you bring your first checkpoint up, I want you to bring your homework sheet that's been page, what page has it been in here? Page 13 and 14. I want you to bring that with you. I want to make sure you've been keeping up with your homework. You're going to get 2 homework grades off that. Okay, the first checkpoint, you're going to graph these 2. You're going to bring this to me. Let me check it. Then I'm going to give you checkpoint 2, which is 2 more. You're going to graph those and bring that to me. Let me check, okay? That page 14 is the homework. I want you to do 30. That's not homework. That's coming off the homework sheet. You're doing those in class. 30 to 34. Then you have a worksheet. All right, you're matching the graph to these right here. You can look at them. You don't have to work these out. Now, these are not exactly polar graphs. They still kind of look like the regular graphs, but based on how many units you go out from the center, you can pick which graph best matches up to that, okay? Does that make sense? Like this right here, guys. Is that a circle or a type of lamacin? That's a type of lamacin, but what type is it? A cordioid, isn't it? So you can see here, okay, let me look at look here. Is that the only cordioid on the paper? It's that one right there. So that has to be 7. Do you see what I'm saying? Eliminate. Here, that's a what type figure? Shape. I mean, it is a shape. It's a what? Circle. Okay. It is on the what? Vertical or horizontal axis? So is it going to have sine or cosine in it? Sine. It's a circle. And how far does it go up? 3. Isn't that the equation right there? So these are not exactly, but you should be able to eliminate. You got what I'm saying? Now, the ones on your quiz that's like this tomorrow is very clear, okay? I let that one be the quiz and this to be the practice in class, okay? Does everybody understand? The only one that I'm going to give to you, Josh. Pass everybody one of these. This one's a funky looking one. I'm going to go and give you this one. Number 3 is M. You're not going to have one. 3. This lamacin is kind of turned on its side. I don't know why they did that there, but I'm trying to give you that one so you have that one. The rest of them you should be able to figure out. Alright, yes. Yes. Okay, so does everybody understand what we're doing for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes? Those 2 checkpoints have to be turned in today. Whatever you don't finish is homework. Okay? Pardon, come here. And do the checkpoints in order. I'm going to go and give you both checkpoints. Do checkpoint 1, Matthew. Pass this one out. When you're ready, bring it up here and let me check it. Thank you. Okay. If you go put this in the orange folder on the wall, please.
So, when you show us how to do it on the calculator?
That's a good conversation. It really doesn't help you. You can just see the picture of it. It's not like... Identify the shape and then graph it. If you have not taken your other quiz, you can come take this one first and then do checkpoint later. Chad, come start on it. Parker, come finish it. Scotty, come take this quiz. Caitlin Roberts, come take this quiz. You will come do checkpoints in 0 period tomorrow. Or if you come back sometime today, not 4th, 5th, but you got to get that quiz done. Yes, I know. Checkpoint 1. Put that one in there. Yeah, after you bring your homework sheet up with checkpoint 1 completed. have a seat. Hey, y'all make those. Those are just priced. I only have 2 people at my table at one time, so if you see 2 people, stay in your seat. I'm done. Thank you.
Change it on board. Just did 32 to 34.
I'm gonna make an adjustment. We're not gonna do number 30 on the board. Over there, Luke's gonna change it to 31 through 34 for me. Just have a seat.
It's 31.
Okay, just change. Okay. Omit 31. Is it omit 31?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put omit 31 on there. Thank you. You crack me up, make it a little bit clearer. That's not be cracks. That's what we messing up. There's any crack stuff. You need to do those not. Thank you. Those part of an assignment that you were supposed to do last week was 39 to 50. You need to practice those. Be finishing up checkpoint 1 soon. We should be out on checkpoint 2. Bring checkpoint 1 worse and then checkpoint 2, okay? Anthony over here, Sam, sit down. Sam, I need you to take a look at negatives on 3 over 2. That one here. 3 over 2 is here, but look, this is negative. Okay, so Okay, you're good. Good. Your checkpoint 2. You have to keep this right? Yes. Yeah. You put that back. You know that. I don't want to see that again. You're good.
Because I didn't get a check on one. Thank you.
Good job. Very good. Thank you. Okay, sit down here. Okay, I want you to look at this one right here. I want you to think about that one. Good, thank you. Okay, Brian. Where would that be? Just standing like this. Good job. Okay. Good job, Costa. Put you on the cover. Thank you, Lucy. You did. I see you. I see you.
I thought the second one was the first one, so
Okay. What's that? Okay, you're good. Okay. These are easy. Good job. Okay, I need, if you have not brought checkpoint 1, you need to bring it now. Checkpoint 1, let's go. Everybody should be on checkpoint 2 now. Okay, I see here, I see here. I see here. Good job. Flip your homework for me. Okay, good job. Okay, sit here. Good job. Good job, Gracie. Flip. Good, thank you. Okay, this right here, I need you to look back there. So you need to do some more work on this. Which one's what you're going to do? Just mark it down for me.
It's all those are, all those, and that's for.
Do that in your secretary and bring that to me, okay? Alright, now, where does, okay, yes, 352, but what does that mean that 1 negative? So it's already, you see what I'm saying? Yep. You see that, understand that now? Yes, sir. Okay, you're good? Thank you.
They're still recording.
Huh?
They're still recording.